Don't let me stray. Please guide my way onto the path of my being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, I'm calling your name. Oh, Allah.
Are you motivated? I don't think you're motivated if you're sitting at home watching me talk on talk shows. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk. You guys, we're going to get you guys motivated if you're not motivated. Because if you're sitting at home watching Let's Talk, perhaps you're not motivated enough. So I have some young guests here, as well as a life coach and motivational speaker from Al-Azhar University, Brother Mukhtar Mahdi, to speak to us about being motivated, getting motivated, and staying motivated, inshallah. So to my right, let's begin, inshallah. Brother Mukhtar, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Malik. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. We're going to need to tap into your experience as a life coach and a motivational speaker, inshallah, in this episode. And we have the youth from all different parts of the world right here. But if we can start from my right, and you can tell me your full name and where you're from, inshallah.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah. My name is Barry Sulaiman. I'm from Guinea-Conakry, West Africa.
Okay, wonderful. Now I want you to tell me, tell the viewers, what is the language that you speak, brother? What is the ethnic background, Fulani or Hausa, in this country?
Like the country language, it's French.
Okay, the national language. Okay,
Yeah,
but what is the
national
native languages of the country?
But like my language, I speak Fulani.
Okay. Yeah, Keratu.
Yeah.
I speak also Fulani a little bit, inshallah. Thank you. I want you to tell me about motivation, how you guys down there in your country, you guys are staying motivated, inshallah. Barakallahu. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Alaikum, brother.
I'm Ilyas Townsend. I'm from London.
Okay, whereabouts in London?
Lewisham, South London.
Okay, are you guys motivated over there? Are the youth motivated?
I hope so.
In a positive way?
No comment.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother. Give me your full name and where you're from.
Okay, I'm Nazif Abubakar. From Nigeria.
Okay.
Northern Nigeria specifically.
Okay, so
Yeah,
now what is your native language? Fulani?
Okay, my native language is Hausa.
Oh, so
Yeah, it's
you
Hausa.
guys are close then, huh?
Yeah, we are close.
I do
because
speak-
there is a relationship between Hausa and...
Okay. So I want to ask you guys then, I do speak a little Hausa. Yeah, Keratu.
Wow.
What does it mean?
Yes, you do. Yeah, how is your family and how is your study?
Mashallah.
Yeah, really you do. Definitely. You are motivated by Hausa life.
Mashallah. Thank you, brother. Brother Mukhtar, let's talk about defining motivation. What do we mean by motivation? Why should we be motivated? And motivated to do what? Because a lot of people are motivated, but in the wrong way, aren't they?
Right. Motivation is actually very, very cornerstone of anybody. It is the fuel of the human engine. I wanted you to think of your brain like a battery. And when this battery is down, you need to motivate yourself and charge this battery. And in the way that the human brain works, and the way that you can recharge this battery again is numerous. Many things you can do to motivate yourself and to level up your performance. And there is no limits to what you can do, what you can have, what you can achieve, or what you can be. And the only limits is the limits that you put for yourself. The only limits and boxes that you put to yourself is the things that will make you behave and act in your life. So I always say to people, get out of rules. Forget there is limits and go for life. And the steps to follow to motivate yourself must start with a vision, a dream, something big. Because if your dream is small, you are not motivated enough. And I always think of dreams and capabilities, your life and your dream.
Right.
And there is a gap in between. Either you go up with your capabilities and yourself to reach your dream, or what happens?
Your dreams fall down.
Exactly. And what I want people to do is always get their dream up,
Right.
and their capabilities and their self-esteem up to
Yes.
reach. And always keep that gap, but keep it up.
Okay. And perhaps we can talk later too about the connection between self-confidence, self-esteem, and motivation.
Exactly.
Brother Bari Suleiman, that's a beautiful name. My son's name is actually Suleiman. Brother, do you consider yourself a motivated person? And if so, why? What motivates you, brother?
Like, if like me, for myself, like if I dream to be a something higher, it means I have to be motivated, like to act to get my energy to reach that dream where I dream.
Yeah, so, okay, great. But brother, I want to ask you, you live here in the Middle East and you came here to study Arabic, is that right?
Yeah.
So coming from West Africa,
Yes.
is that what you had to be motivated in order to do that, to travel abroad, to study, to learn in another country. That has taken a lot of motivation on your part.
Yeah.
What was your motivation in the first place?
Like in here, I came here to learn Arabic from far away from my country. So if I came here to learn what I dream for, I have to be motivated, like to be courageous.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And to get what I come for.
Yes.
You
To
see?
reach your goals. Yes, subhanAllah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Allahumma.
And the same question goes to you, brother. Do you consider yourself a motivated person? You too left the UK to come to the Middle East here to study Arabic and of course to leave your comfort zone, to travel to a different country. This takes motivation. So do you consider yourself a motivated person? And if so, what has motivated you?
Inshallah, I like to think I was motivated. I think the big motivation for me was to try to improve myself Islamically by trying to learn a bit more of the language, the Quran and the related sciences. And you can only do so much in your native language. Sometimes you need to come out of your comfort zone in order to push yourself that much more. And we have a lot of Arabic classes in UK, and mashallah, a lot of them are beneficial. But if you want to get to that higher level, then you have to leave and live amongst people that speak the language. So you force yourself to learn even more.
Certainly, yeah.
The motivation has to be intact because it's hard sometimes. Like you might learn some Arabic in a book, but then on the street,
Yeah, right.
it's completely different.
It's like that English that you guys speak over there in the UK, you know. Like I say trash can, you guys say rubbish.
Yeah,
So it's confusing, right? It's confusing. So when you come to the Middle East, you learn the Arabic and then you see what people are saying. It's a bit difficult,
Yes,
right?
it's different. So it's important to stay motivated, and like you mentioned, you have to have that game. You have to have that goal and the aim. You always have to aim towards something. If you don't have the aim and the vision, you can just fall off and just wake up in 10 years thinking, what have I done in my life?
Right,
You have to always be progressing towards something.
Yeah,
It
but-
might take your whole lifetime. And like one thing my imam would always say when you're trying to establish the masjid, you have this aim, you have this motivation, you might not see it yourself, maybe your children or your
Yes.
grandchildren might achieve the aim, it might not be you. So it's
Yeah.
important you always have that aim and that goal and that vision, so you're always working towards something.
Barakallahu feek. One more quick question before we continue. Have the things that motivated you changed since you accepted Islam? If we compare that to before you're Muslim, what motivated you as a non-Muslim, and what motivates you now as a Muslim?
As a Muslim, I would say the things that motivated me was being good at the things that I do, like to always be the best at whatever I try to do. Inshallah, I like to think that I've carried that into
With you.
Islam as well.
Alhamdulillah.
So if I can't do something well, I won't do it. I won't do it at all. Like, I refuse to do it because I'm not good at it.
Right.
So if I find I'm good at something, I would put 100% into it. So I
Great.
think that definitely, those two things, being good at something and putting 100% effort into something,
Great.
I feel, inshallah, I have taken
Great.
those with me into Islam.
Barakallahu feek. Thank you, brother. Brother, do you consider yourself a motivated person, and give me some evidence as why?
Of course, as a Muslim, I see myself as a motivated person because whoever believes as Allah, believe in Allah as his Lord, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ as his Prophet, and Islam as his religion, so he deserves to be motivated. Definitely, what keeps me motivated is to have good company. Well, I mean, you want to have people around you who, if you fall, they will help you rise again, because we learn from our mistakes. And also, you have to put your trust in Allah. As we see in the Quran, Prophet Musa alayhi salam, because motivation doesn't mean arrogance. So you need people to help you, because you can't do it alone by yourself. So Prophet Musa alayhi salam, when they fled from the Pharaoh and his troops, and they came to the sea separated them. And his people say, we are overtaken. But because Prophet Musa alayhi salam, believed in his Lord and put all his trust in his Lord, he said, no, inna ma'i rabbi sayahdi. And by that, Allah saved them from the Pharaoh. So, I mean that motivation, you have to seek your Lord's help and the people surround you. And also, what keeps me motivated is I never agree with impossible, because the word impossible is not in my dictionary. Yeah, whatever human can do, I can do it. Those who say it is impossible should keep or should give the way to those who say it is. Yeah. And also, yeah, I found some people who are successful in their life. So I inspired by them, or they inspired me. By that, yeah,
thank you so much.
Be motivated.
Thank you so much. And before we move on, we're going to take a quick look at this report, inshallah. You guys stay tuned for more Let's Talk.
With Allah, Allah, I'm calling your name.
To understand that it is part of our aqeedah that iman rises and falls. You have to understand that, or you're going to always think that you're a hypocrite. And if you do always think you're a hypocrite, it's a sign of iman as well. It's a sign of iman. Don't always beat yourself up because you think you have become a hypocrite. There was a companion named Handala who was walking in the streets of Medina one day, and Abu Bakr encountered him. Assalamu alaikum ya Handala. He said, stay away from me because I have become a hypocrite. I have become a hypocrite, so please stay away from me. Save yourself from my nifaq. Abu Bakr is like, what? What's going on? How? He said, you know, when we're with the Prophet ﷺ, I feel like I can see Jannah. When he tells us about Jannah, it's as if we can see it. When he tells us about Nar, it's as if we can feel it. And then I go home with my family, and you know, it just goes straight down. The wife is, you know, talking about this, and the kids are doing that, and next thing you know, my iman has fallen. Abu Bakr said, Subhanallah, if this is nifaq, then I'm a hypocrite too. So we need to go to the Prophet ﷺ. So they went to the Prophet ﷺ and told him what happened. He laughed at them. He laughed at them. He said, you know, if you were like you are when you're with me all the time, meaning if your iman was so high like you are, you know when you're playing Tarawih Salah, how your iman is floating through the roof. He said, if you're like that all the time, then angels would leave the heavens and come down on earth and shake hands with you and give you glad tidings of Jannah every day. It's not like that. He said iman rises and falls. Rises and falls. The thing we need to try to fix though is that it doesn't fall to the point to where we fall into sin.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah.
Welcome back. I certainly hope you enjoyed that report, a nice report, really speaking about the fluctuation of iman. And of course, Brother Mukhtar and all my guests, that relates to what we're talking about in that motivation and self-esteem go hand in hand. And that goes up and down as well,
right,
as iman goes up and down. So how can we not only stabilize our motivation, as this is related to iman also,
right,
but how can we get it to a good level and keep it there?
Great. So we always speak of the steps you could take to motivate yourself. And the first thing, as we spoke, is having a vision, having a dream, a definite chief aim in your lives that you are working toward it. We are a goal-seeking creatures. If you don't work toward a goal, you will reach nothing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Great point.
Imagine you are going in the morning out of your home and you don't have the address you are going to.
Yeah.
You are lost.
You're going nowhere.
You could have the best capabilities, the best thing you have in your life, but you are reaching nothing.
Yeah.
It's like having a ship in the sea with the best everything in it, but it doesn't have a destination. It will wander until it fails.
Yeah.
So you got to have a good care of having your dream. And if you don't have a dream for yourself and follow it, you will be working for others who have dreams. You will be in other people's dreams. It's like a camera. And the more you focus on your dream, the best shot you will take in your life. The first thing is to have a definite chief aim. The second thing is to have a plan. Without having a plan of action toward achieving that goal, you will never reach anything. Yeah. Imagine you have the best camera in the world, but you are not adjusting it. You don't have to you don't learn how to use it, and you don't take the steps to take the best shot. You are not reaching anywhere. So you always need to have a plan of action. And the best thing we tell people to do is have a plain paper and a pencil. Sit down, write what is your goal, and make it like APC. It's like the first thing I want to achieve is, and then go on, and make it a prioritize for yourself. Because if you have many goals, many dreams, you will wander and achieve nothing. So prioritize your goal and have a plan of action. I will do this, and put to yourself a timeline. Also, the most important thing is self-esteem, self-control, self-confidence. Because if you feel you can't have it, if you feel you don't have the chance to have it, you will not work toward it. But always believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? You have to have that belief that you can achieve anything. They say, just start and you will reach where you want to be. You have your brain in your head, your foot in your shoe, and you have the steering wheel of your life. Drive where you want. Right. Drive toward your dream. After you have your definite chief aim, the plan of action with a timeline, the self-control, the self-discipline that you will follow that action, you should have enthusiasm, because you will feel like, I have done something, I will take a rest. I have done something, I now will take a mental candy, I will escape from it. You have to stick yourself to your action. And the most important thing you could do in this, to learn from Islam, how Islam raise our iman, how much do we pray per day?
5 times.
5 times. How much do we say al-azkar? 1 in the morning. Why we do this? Because the Islam wants us to remember each day and raise our level of iman. And you need to find something that motivates you and to put positive energy into you. And that thing in Islam is the Jum'ah prayer.
For example.
You listen to the speaker giving you the charge, giving you the positive thinking that will keep you motivated and working towards the next week. So always take good care of finding yourself a good place to listen for khutbah. And remember that motivation is something to do each day. If you don't motivate yourself on a daily basis, you will not reach anywhere. And develop a habit. Humans work with habits better than anything else. If I leave you without anything, habits will start kicking in. When you want to perform with the best, make it a habit. And the way to control and self-discipline to yourself to something is to make it a habit.
Okay.
And you can make any habit you want. They say it takes about 30 days to program your life into a habit and create that positive habit that will make that positive change in your life.
But I think I want to talk to you after the break about bad habits and how we can prevent those and break those.
Great.
Inshallah. And after we get back on the break, I want to ask you young brothers as well about those questions that Brother Mukhtar said as a life coach. He's telling us we should have a dream or goals, we should have a plan, we should have discipline, and I want to talk to you guys about what your dreams and goals are, inshallah ta'ala. You guys stay tuned, we'll be right back after the break.
How perfect my Allah is, and I praise Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah. How perfect you are, Allah, Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Reading the Quran is a blessing. Understanding its translation is beautiful. But diving in depth and extracting pearls from it is simply amazing. Do they not ponder upon the Quran? Every week, inshallah, we will dig deep and reflect on the verses of the Quran one by one.
Quran in Depth with Sheikh Ibrahim Zaidan, only on Huda TV.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah.
Welcome back to Let's Talk, you guys. We're talking about staying motivated, getting motivated, and being motivated and increasing our motivation. Brother Mukhtar, life coach and motivational speaker, was speaking before the break about some interesting points: having a dream, having a goal, having a plan, a strategy, prioritizing, and of course being disciplined in that, and developing good habits and breaking bad ones. Brother Mukhtar, thank you for that, inshallah ta'ala. I want to go, you guys, to the brothers here now, starting with you, young brother, Brady Suleiman. What are your dreams, brother? And what are your dreams, what are your goals, and do you have a plan of action to get there?
Yeah. Like, first of all, like, I can give some example about like someone human is Muslim, if like he wanna like return his iman, but like so now he have to first of all like to look around him, like who like his friend and who is like going with, because like if you are going with some people who don't used to pray or they used to do ibadah, to istighfar, like that things, like it's mean like you are not like going like to bring your iman back, because you have to be motivated.
Of course.
Okay. So now how could you like to bring your iman back? So it's mean like you have to find friend who use like to like good friend, like to go to the mosque or to do ibadah or to go like to take some lessons about deen. So now like you have to be like friend with the mosque, because like if true you are like praying 5 times a day, that's just gonna, you have to be motivated, because some people like, if like they're into their shop, they are selling, if they have the azan, they have some people they are buying for them, they're not gonna leave that, they're just gonna keep doing their business. So now, that means you have to be motivated to leave that things if you have the azan, to go direct to the mosque and to pray your ibadah, and then to do whatever you want to do else. And now you just like, and you have to like to keep doing ibadah and dhikr, many things about ibadah, and then you if you do it a lot, you may can feel your iman.
Return, inshallah. Barakatuh, thank you, brother. Dreams, goals, brother, that you have, and what is your strategy to get to those things? And how important is it to blueprint a roadmap, to set goals, and to reach it? How have you done that in your personal life?
Inshallah, after I became a Muslim, the masjid in which I became a Muslim was very dawah orientated. It's always calling people to Islam, and alhamdulillah I got involved with a lot of the work there, and in order to progress to the next level, I thought I needed to try to learn some of the language and learn some more about Islam. And it's important to always have this in your mind, because it's easy to come to another country and to speak English, so a lot of people, they want to learn English. It's easy to come over here and make money. I've got a degree. It's easy for me to fall off and say, I ain't going to go to and study or nothing. I just want to go and make some money now. So it's important to stay motivated, and obviously Allah told us, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. In the Messenger of Allah, you have the best example to follow. So sometimes when you have these missions and these goals, and sometimes it's difficult. And if you look at the life of the Prophet ﷺ, you see it. I mean, one of his aims was to obviously spread Islam. And in order to do that, he needed to have a base. He needed to have a place in order to do this. So he spent like 13 years in Mecca. He's cultivating Muslims. He's giving the message. He's speaking to the Quraysh. They're not accepting. You know, they refuse him and they torment him. It goes to Ta'if, it's the same thing. But if you look at the Prophet, he always has this goal: I'm going to find a place to spread the deen, spread Islam. After 13 years of knocks, his wife dies, his uncle dies, some of his companions, they died, the poor people are being tormented, they have to go to a Najashi, they have to, all of these things are going on. 13 years, he ends up going to Medina. So he had the goal, he had the vision. And if we're trying to imitate the Prophet ﷺ, we need to have goals and visions as well, and understand that we may fall sometimes, but you always pick yourself up. If you have a clear goal and you fall down, you always pick yourself up. So for me personally, inshallah, I want to try to learn, benefit, go back to UK, inshallah ta'ala, to continue some of the da'wah work that we were doing earlier on.
Barakatuh, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. How about you, brother? What are some dreams and goals that you have, and how have you planned yourself and organize yourself to reach those goals?
Okay. As a human being, like everybody, I have many goals. Yeah, and I want to achieve them. Some of them are the long-term goal, and some of them are the short-term. But as we know, nothing can satisfy human desire but the trap, the grave. So, but now my dream or my goal is to be a journalist, especially because these are the things that we need most in Nigeria, specifically in the northern part of the country, because we are lagging behind in this area. Yeah, media. Many people now are raising, global now are moving rapidly. So we want to keep pace with the rest of the world in this global race. That's why I want to open an Islamic media, to keep, to make our voice heard to the rest of the world.
Inshallah. Thank you, brother. Brother Mukhtar, how important is it when we were speaking about goals? How can we prioritize when someone has a goal, a long-term goal, a short-term goal? If you have a goal, it's very difficult to reach. You have set a difficult goal for yourself. You have to have intermediate steps. So how can we prioritize? This takes some skill as well. How do we organize ourselves?
It takes a skill, but we all can learn it. I always say that there is no skill that is yours that you cannot learn it. You can have anything you want, learn it, and you can work with anything you want. You acquire what you want by working. And the best way to prioritize is to have a plain paper and a pen and start writing on the top right your main goals. And I always like the right part. I know that in English you start from the left, but as Muslims we write from the right. So take that right part, the right brain, make it working on the goal. So write the big goals and imagine of anything and ask yourself this: what would you dream if you know you would never fail? You have no limitations. Write it down. And then start writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first one is the biggest goal. And out of these goals, the long-term goals, take A, P, C. The short-term goals or steps you have to achieve in order in the long term achieving your goal. The only person you are destined to be is a person that you decide. So it takes a decision, and you will be wondering if you actually ask people, they never take the decision. Researchers find that if you ask any man what is the biggest decision you talk in your life, it's actually marriage, nothing else. So exactly, you have to decide that you are going to pursue your dream and to surround yourself with people who are going to motivate you. In the Quran, most of the prophets were saying, Rabbi habli hukman wa alhiqni bis-salihin. Accompany me with the good company. Surround yourself with people who will push you toward the limits. Let the people that will bring you down. You are a living magnet, and this magnet will attract what is inside it. So if you have good positive thoughts, you will surround yourself with people who have good thoughts. The second thing I always ask people to do is to take risks, make mistakes, learn to fail, or fail to learn. In order to learn, we need to make mistakes. And the best thing to do is to learn from others' mistake, not to make the same mistake. So take risks, surround yourself with people who will keep you motivated, and when you see your dream big and high and unachievable, think of how to eat an elephant. You eat it bite by bite. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with
a mile.
One step.
One step.
Right.
So you could take it. And I don't like it to be a mile. I want it to be 1,000 miles, something you feel afraid that you cannot reach. That will keep you motivated to work toward it.
Thank you, brother. Because essentially we can't be motivated if you don't have a goal.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Right.
Do you brothers agree with that as well? If you don't have a goal, then what are you motivated for? You're not doing anything, subhanAllah.
Right.
But perhaps you set your goal and you don't reach your goal, and this becomes frustrating, and your motivation is hurt because of this. I mean, can that happen?
It will happen. That's why I'm telling you to take risks and make mistakes. You will blunder often in reaching your goal. The man who invented the light bulb failed 1,000 times. So you don't have a limit of your failures toward reaching your dream. But I always ask people to adjust the dream if they felt like it could be better. I could reach something more if I do something else.
Right.
So it's never too late to change your dream or to go for your inner call, the thing that you are talented for. And that is a good thing to ask people to find your talent. Many people don't know what is their talent and what they can do. In the world, people pay you for not who you are, but what you can provide.
Yes, sure.
The thing that you can give out to the world.
Yeah.
And actually, prophets were taking the talent, providing it to the world.
Yes.
One prophet was a carpenter, and another was
Shepherd.
shepherd. And so these talents have to be developed. And I always say that try to seed it in your children. There is a good story I remember saying a man came to his son with a bottle and an apple in that bottle. And he asked his son, he gave him an apple in a bottle, and he asked him to put that apple in the bottle. The son took it and tried to stick it in, but it didn't work. So he went to his father and said, I failed. His father told him, you didn't think it enough. You took the task and you tried to do it without thinking and planning how to do it. And he took him to the tree where apples are small and put it in the bottle. So when it got big, it got little inside. This is exactly our talent.
Yes,
this is exactly our beliefs. So if you want your child to be motivated and successful in life, you have to seed in them when they are young the good positive thoughts and talents and habits that will keep them working. Gives them a space to make mistakes. We always try to be protective of our children, and that limits them.
Right.
There is a study, without the study, I will ask you a question. Do you think who is more creative and motivated to do something? A child of 5 years or a man of 30?
The child. What do you guys think?
Definitely a child.
Exactly. What happens? We start cutting him down, trying to adjust him to a lower levels of human capabilities. I want you to reach your peak performance, and that will not happen if you don't have any limitations. Give your child the free space to make mistake and to learn, and seed in them, put in them the motivation and positive thoughts that they can achieve whatever they want. They can be whatever they need to be.
Thank you so much, Brother Mukhtar. And I want to ask the brothers here, what are some goals that you guys have reached? Have you guys set yourself a goal, a lofty goal, and then you achieved that goal after a lot of hard work? In your personal life?
Like, I don't understand good your question.
Is there anything that you had a goal in your life and then you achieved it? Did you set yourself a goal in something and then you reach your goal?
Yeah, so like I was like trying like to memorize something like Quran, but because like sometimes like shaitan, or if you have some friend, but if you have lesson Quran, they're gonna call you, no, come on, come with me, I need to go here, so come, like leave me here. So now I have to be like, sometimes I say no, because my father, if he come he return back to work, he gonna ask me to. That's to make me, scared. So I become that's to is like help me, like to be motivated. Because if like you are doing if some kid, he's learning something, or someone helping him about his goal, but sometimes if you doesn't have someone who you can scare, you cannot to do it. So now sometimes my friends, they're going to call me, come do this and this, help me. But I say no, because my father, if he come tonight, he's going to ask me. You have to memorize, you see. So I have to be motivated to go back to the lesson Quran in the land, and then I come tonight, he asks me back.
Barakallahu feek. You guys, we're going to take a short break, then I want to go to my left and continue asking you guys the same question, inshallah. You guys stay tuned for more Let's Talk. We'll be right back after the break.
How perfect my Allah is, and I praise. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah, how perfect you are, Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala.
sick for halqa or dhikr. Especially in the masjid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide us with the following. نزلت عليهم السكينة, tranquility. You feel like peace of mind, comfort for your eyes whenever you're sitting in the halqa in the masjid. غشيتهم الرحمة, Allah covers this gathering with His mercy. وحفتهم الملائكة, that was stated in the previous hadith, and the angels will surround them. وذكرهم الله في من عنده.
Don't miss Dr. Muhammad Salah's all-new weekly program, Gardens of the Pious, live from 9 to 10 p.m. Mecca time every Wednesday night, only on Huda TV.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. You guys definitely get on there and support us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and you see all that information before and after the break, I believe. So please like us on Facebook and check out the videos on youtube.com/HudaTV. To my left, brother, what is the dream that you have set for yourself and you have reached in YouTube? Go ahead first, inshallah.
The long-term goals, I haven't reached them yet. Short-term, just things like completing some books that I've been studying, or I think maybe some memorizing some parts of the Quran. Alhamdulillah, I've done that. So I think, alhamdulillah, there's been some that I didn't I didn't achieve.
Yes, subhanAllah.
But maybe my motivation wasn't that strong, so it's a good thing I'm on the show today to listen.
but even memorizing like 10 verses of the Quran, it's like a good. It feels really good when you complete it.
No,
right.
so,
because you reach your goal.
Exactly. When you reach your goal, you feel like you have accomplished something, and that gives you more energy toward working more. So keep yourself motivated by working more.
Yeah, thank you, brother. And YouTube, brother, what's the goal that you have set for yourself that you've reached?
Okay, before answering these questions, I'd like to advise the people of my age, young people, because they are highly ambitious. I'm telling you this from experience. Before I came here, I had many goals, but they are unachievable and unattainable. But I sought many people advice, and they corrected me, and they showed me that I was on the wrong track. So they put me on the right track. So definitely I've achieved many goals that I have set, like memorizing the Quran, alhamdulillah, and like learning Arabic language and the English language, and I'm in the process of learning it. English language, this is my short-term goal.
Thank you, brother. I certainly appreciate it.
Have a sense of achievement.
Inshallah. Brother Mukhtar, many of us have not set goals at all. So what is your message for the young people who have all the time in the world? They have health, this is their time, right? And they don't have any. I see a lot of youth, they don't have any goal, and so they're just like, it's like you're going on a treadmill, you're going nowhere fast, and you waste a lot of years of your life like this. I've been down that road as well. So what's your message to the young people that don't have a goal?
Start thinking of the things you could achieve if you set a goal for yourself. It's like you must have a desire for success. You cannot be successful if you don't take the step and decide you want to be successful. And you need to have a burning desire inside you that you need to success. We make it an analogy when we say you have to grasp for air. You have to grasp for success. When you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, you will be successful. So if you want to have a goal, a definite chief aim in your life, you have to think, what is my abilities? What is my talent? What are the things that I'm good at? And what are the things that I could do more? And what is the skills that I can acquire? And what is the mistakes I could make to learn more in order to put myself on a good track? And everybody has his own track. Everybody has his own life story and experience to tell. So ask yourself, what would I be doing? What I love to do? And follow that love, follow that desire with no limits. You will achieve it. Who said it could not be done? What great things has he accomplished to make it impossible for you not to do it? Not let others put you down. When others throw stones at you, take it and build a ladder that you can achieve higher goals. don't be afraid of a little opposition you will find in your home, in your school, in your surrounding environment. Don't be afraid of that opposition. Remember, the kite of success flies against the wind. The man who has the power is the man who will go against the grain. Against the grain should be a way of life. Stay different, stay brilliant. That's what makes you not a copy. There's millions of people, copies out there. To be original, to be authentic. You cannot be authentic and original without having that burning desire to a goal. Design and fashion yourself that goal and make a mental image of that success. Many people try to lose weight. One of the things we advise them to do is make an image for yourself of when you lose weight, because this image will motivate you toward reaching it. So design and fashion that image of yourself successful. This image will attract you toward it.
Brother. Of course, as you mentioned, the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his mission, I believe in his farewell khutbah, he said to the people, have I delivered the message? And he said, Allah is my witness. So he had a goal, and he stayed his whole life in search of this goal until the last moment, subhanAllah, and beyond. SubhanAllah. Yes, I wanted to mention that, brother. You had brought that to my memory. Briefly, you guys, in this last segment here, self-esteem. If you don't have self-esteem in the first place, then you're not going to be motivated, and you don't have a goal. Right? So self-esteem, self-confidence, how important is that, and how do we build it up?
So good. We always say that you work and behave according to the inner self-esteem. You behave with the inner self-conviction. If you have in yourself the feeling that you are incapable, your life will be filled of incapable, incomplete stuff. But if you have a mental shift toward thinking that you can do it and repeat to yourself, I can do this, I can achieve what I want, then this image, this creation inside you of a positive feeling, of a positive self, will push you toward having your dream and your goal achieved. And we always say that when you feel like failure, remember that success is not a straight path. It is about failing and failing and failing, and every time you fail, you take yourself up and have yourself discovering that you can have no limits. You can never think of human limits. And the only way to discover your capabilities is to jump with a parachute, and on your way you will discover that you have no limitations. Who could think that we could have the beautiful cameras, the beautiful videos, the spontaneous communications that we have right now, things that were just a fantasy, was just an imagination, but people thought it is possible. This is what I need you to believe in yourself. You could have whatever you want. You could achieve whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. There is no limits for what you can have.
And that's a great point. The people that made Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff 10 years ago or less than that, people would have said it's not possible.
Exactly.
But now it's possible. What about self-esteem as it relates to Iman? Because I know after I became Muslim, I feel like my self-esteem increased because I realized, hey, look, Allah is in control of everything. If I take the proper, if I can do what I can do on my side, then I'll leave the rest to Allah. I will do the best that I can and prepare myself, and I'll leave the rest for Allah. So this increased my self-esteem after becoming Muslim. So perhaps you guys can speak a little bit about that. How is your self-esteem related to your Iman as a Muslim? Go ahead, brother.
I think self-esteem is connected to Iman in a great way, because I think the main thing in self-esteem is the people who you surround yourself with, and I think we've discussed that a lot today. I mean, I grew up in an area in South London where no one had motivation, really. A lot of crime, a lot of drugs, a lot of these kind of things. So self-esteem is really down, actually. I mean, people grow up thinking, oh, I can never be anything. I'm destined to be a drug seller. I'm destined to be a drug user. I'm destined to just be, a nobody in society. So I think that does play on a person's perception of life. People grow up thinking that I can't be anything, I can't do anything. So obviously Islam gives people more than that. Have self-esteem, do something that you're good at. I mean, everyone's good at something. And I think when people find that they can do something and it boosts their self-esteem, then they can use that in the service of Islam. I mean, the Sahaba, they had different roles. You know, people talk about Khalid ibn Walid is on a battlefield. Hassan bin Thabit, he's defending Islam with his poetry. Uthman bin Affan is giving money, spending for the sake of Allah. So everyone has something they can do. And imagine Hassan bin Thabit, he knows that he can defend Islam with his poetry. He's going to have self-esteem, he's going to be motivated to do it.
Yeah.
It must do great for his iman, for the Prophet to praise him, saying, do it some more. Same for Khalid, same for Uthman. So when you're doing something that you're good at for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your self-esteem is going to be high, number one. And number two, you know, your iman will increase because you're doing something for Allah's sake. You know you can do it. It's possible. It's actually something that you're achieving right in front of you, you know. And it's important to have people around you because they're going to push you to continue doing it. If you have people like who I used to know back in the day, they drag you down because they want you to be down there with them. You know what I mean? So it's important to like lay that rose in the concrete, as they say.
Thank you, brother. But I wanted to ask you: has your iman increased, or has your self-esteem increased after accepting Islam, personally? Or did you always have good self-esteem?
Well, I have good self-esteem because, like I said, I've always done things that I'm good at.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, of course.
But definitely, in a way, my self-esteem has increased because beforehand I was doing things for the sake of it, but now I have actually, like, I have in my mind I want to do something for Allah's sake. So I know that I'm using those abilities that I have to do some good. So definitely, my self-esteem has increased.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Yeah. Definitely, self-esteem and iman go hand together.
Okay.
Go hand in hand, yeah.
Okay, barakah
yeah, they are inseparable. They're just like identical twins.
Okay.
Yeah, Muslim, in general, has self-esteem because he believes that with Allah all things are possible and that nothing stands on his way.
Yes.
He struggled to achieve, to achieve whatever he wants. Because he knows that Allah will be there for him. So we learn from our mistakes, as we say.
Thank you,
never
brother.
allow any previous difficulty to stand on our ways.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Of course, it's important to be confident in the qadr of Allah, because a lot of times now today people take it in the wrong way. They give up and say everything is, they say qadr Allah, and they leave everything. They don't take any action. When in fact it's the reverse. You should take all the action, prepare yourself, and create dreams and create a roadmap to success. Certainly, that's what I believe, Brother Mukhtar. We only have a couple minutes left, brother. I want you to take a minute or two to go over the main points, the final message you want to give to the youth who are not motivated, and increase their motivation, tell them to get back on the right track, and to start planning, inshallah.
The final message will be, find yourself a goal, a vision, and decide that you will achieve this goal, and believe in yourself that you could have it. And second thing, have a plan of action with a timeline. Write it down and have a marking. If you do something, put a mark on it to move on the next level. Have a plan of action with a timeline. Improve your capabilities and learn new things by making mistakes and taking risks. Acquire new skills. Surround yourself with people who will give you the right advice and who will motivate you up. And you are a live magnet that will attract to it what is in it. And of course, you cannot succeed without having the belief that Allah is on your side and having that self-esteem that you are the captain of your soul and the master of your fate. Who has gone the farthest? For I could, and I swear I will go farther. And who has been bold and true? For I will be the boldest and truest being on the universe. You have no limits, no rules to what you can be or what you can achieve or what you can have.
Barakallahu feek. I certainly appreciate your time. Brother Badi Sulaiman, I certainly appreciate your time as well. I look forward to having you on a future episode, inshallah. Brothers, I certainly appreciate your time as well. Did you have a closing statement you want to give to the youth back home in London to get motivated?
Inshallah, just like our brother mentioned, understand that you can do something. You know what I mean? Nothing's impossible, but you need to be motivated. You actually have to want to do something.
Positive,
exactly. I think in London, a lot of people are motivated to do bad things.
Yeah, and I saw that when they had the riots a while ago, and they had a lot of bad stuff, crime.
And this is where Iman comes in because when there's no real police in Egypt.
For example,
For example, but there's no widespread looting or anything. The
Thank
police
God.
were gone in London for like 2 days.
Forget about it.
Everything was gone. All the shops were smashed.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of people being motivated in London, you can do something, especially in London where you have a lot of opportunities. So do something every time, because you're going to be asked about your youth, what you've done with your youth.
Great.
That's one of the things you're going to be asked about on Yawm al-Qiyamah. What did you do with your youth? You have all of the hamasa, the energy, enthusiasm. Do something with it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Stop wasting your time.
Well, I thank you for your time. But I certainly appreciate it. I appreciate your time as well. And I want to thank you guys. I look forward to seeing you in the future, inshallah. You guys, you heard it here first, right here on Let's Talk. You guys got to get motivated, stay motivated, be motivated. Motivation is important, and be motivated to do something positive. That's the key. You guys, I certainly appreciate your time. Please get on Facebook.com/HudaTV, as well as YouTube.com/HudaTV. Like and share our pages. Support us by doing that. You guys always stay tuned to Huda TV, the premier and pioneer English language Islamic channel. Until next time, I leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Perfect my Allah is and I praise Him. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah. How perfect you are, Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, Allah, I'm calling your name, Allah, I call you, I need you, Allahu Akbar, Allah, your mercy is great.